What do you do when you are stuck in your grief? Well, let's walk together and I'll show you some ways to recognize this, and then I'll give you 3 steps to get unstuck fast. Hi friend, welcome back to Grief Questions Answered. I'm Eric, and it's my goal with these videos to share everything I've learned about how to survive, find support in the loneliness of grief, and how to intentionally get back up and live beyond the loss of a loved one. If this grief tip that you're watching today doesn't help you today, it's okay. I'm confident it can and will help you at some point in the future. So be sure to save this video to watch later on. And if you haven't done so already, click that subscribe button down below, as this is one of the best ways to get notified of new videos just like this and to show support for the channel. So let's go ahead and dig in today's question, and it comes from Laura, who asked me, how do I get unstuck? And it's a great question, and she actually gave me a little bit more context. And she said, I'm feeling frustrated that I've been feeling this way for a while. I don't know what to do about it. And this happens a lot. And, grief is kind of like a paint thinner, okay? It just strips away the layers and layers of emotions that we think are going to protect us. But it leaves us feeling raw, vulnerable, and stuck sometimes. And here's some ways you can tell if you're stuck right now, okay? The first way might be that you're repeating the same old statements. You're replaying that tape. Things like, no one understands me, this is never going to get any better, or I'm all alone. Okay, another way that you may be stuck is that you've had a wake-up moment and now you're just realizing that you've been stuck. Or maybe you're well aware that you've been struggling for a while and you're not just sure what to do about it. But if any of those resonate with you, don't worry about it. I got you, because we're going to go through this here in a couple of seconds, how to get unstuck. And a few days ago, I was on a walk, and I was also feeling stuck with a certain aspect of my life. And I had to go back and look at what I did to get unstuck when I was grieving the loss of my daughter. And I got stuck often. It's just a part of who we are. But I want to share that method with you today here on this video. And so the first thing to do is to recognize that when you're stuck, the first reaction or response that you have must not be self-defeating. While I was on my walk, I realized that I was stuck in that mindset pattern. And when I realized it, I initially wanted to be upset with myself, but instead I chose to appreciate the awareness of knowing that I was stuck. It really helped in that moment. And so the next step is acceptance of where you are. It's about meeting yourself where you are right now instead of where you want to be. And this is important because when you accept where you are, it's easier to give yourself some forgiveness and to say to yourself, I can't change the fact that I didn't figure this out sooner, but I can start to figure it out now. And that's really important. So acceptance is key here. And so when I was on my walk, for me, instead of getting upset because I'd been stuck for a while, I kind of gave myself a little bit of a break and said, look, I know I'm stuck, but now I've got the chance to figure it out. And that awareness and that acceptance was really helpful in that moment. And that leads to the last piece, which is taking action. And it's important to take action because this is what's going to help you get moving and get unstuck. I had found myself in a negative mindset, which was keeping me stuck. And a negative mindset is kind of like car tires that are stuck in mud. The more that you spin on that mindset, all it does is keep you stuck, and it digs the deeper hole, right? So this last step is about taking action that actually gets you unstuck. And it gives you that traction and then some momentum moving forward. And here's a couple of ways that you can take action today, okay? First thing is to talk to someone that you trust. Sometimes just talking to someone about what's bothering you can provide you with some relief and give you a new perspective on what has been keeping you stuck. The other thing is to go for a walk like I did. And I'm not being sarcastic when I say that, because it's actually one of the best ways to kind of trick your brain or tell your brain to get unstuck. That forward motion helps you to kind of open things up, right? And that's exactly what I do every time I get stuck to this day. And it was key for me to do that back when I was grieving the loss of my daughter. And so the other thing is here is that you can talk to a coach or a therapist, because they can usually provide guidance, support, and strategies to address the underlying causes of what's keeping you stuck. I'm always talking to my coaches during these times, and they often always remind me of exactly what I need to be doing to get unstuck. Okay, so I'll leave you with this. First, go easy on yourself. You're stuck. It's part of being human. It's part of the grief process, and it stinks. I get it, but it's okay. The good news is now you've got a tool that can help you get unstuck fast. Just remember the 3 A's: awareness, acceptance, and action. As always, I hope this helps. Do you have a grief question that that I can answer for you? Let me know in the comments below. And by the way, don't forget to join us for the next Emotional Relief Workshop. Just head over to emotionalreliefnow.com and learn more about how you can go from being emotionally overwhelmed to grounded and calm in 90 seconds or less. It's a game changer, folks. Also, don't forget to click subscribe below. Let's walk together, and I'll see you in next week's video.